Okay, so we're going to look at picture plot. This project is just a graph. You just want to make some kind of design on a graph. It can be very intricate or it can be very simple. Like this person did a boat with some waves, had a little sun, and some birds up here. That one's very intricate. You can also do something simple. Like this is the YouTube icon for their app. And then you just make a table out of the points. You could do Phineas and Ferb. I don't even know which one this is, but that's another idea you can do. Or you can get very detailed with it, and like this person did a heart. Forever is not part of their graph. They just really like that design, so they put that in the design. But you don't have to put that into your table for your points. So all you're going to do for this, find my pen, is you're going to use graph paper because you want to make a table out of this stuff. And you're going to put, make an XY coordinate, just your first axis. So you know we have first quadrant, not first axis. You have your positive quadrant, your positive negative, and then your negative, and then your negative positive. All we're going to use is this first quadrant, so everything's positive, so we don't have to worry about negatives. So I'm just going to make a first quadrant, and I would do this in pencil just in case you mess up. I'm doing it in Sharpie because I need you to be able to see on the camera. So it doesn't have to be huge. You can make it as big or as small as you want, but you want to have enough space to make your picture. So I am going to make my picture, one second. Okay. And then you want to label your axis. So I'm just going to count by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and I'll extend it to 25. And that is your x-axis. Then we'll do the same for our y-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you don't have to do every single line. You can count by 5s, you can count by 10s, whatever you would like to count by on your picture. And then you're just going to draw your picture. So I'm going to draw, I'm going to go with the Superman emblem. So I'm going to draw the outside first. Start here. No, I'm going to start a little bit lower. Then I'm going to go right here. Just estimate it to draw your picture. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you mess up, you can always erase and start over again. Draw my outer edges. 1 second, almost done. And then I want to connect them here. I'm going to try there. So that'll be the outside of my Superman symbol. Get your lines as straight as possible. If you need to use a ruler, do that so you don't end up with a mess like that. So that's the outside of it. And then I need to make the S on the inside. What you need to remember is we're going to plug this into STAT if you've already read your directions. We're going to plug this into STAT and actually make it in our calculator. Your calculator only has 3 tables. So you have an XY. Your STAT only has 3 sets of XY tables. You have L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and L6. So you can't have more than 3 sections on your picture. So no matter how intricate you make it, like this one right here, there's only 3 sections on this picture. She did this top part of the arrow, She did the heart with the banner. She had to work all the way through that. And then she did the bottom part of the arrow. For the Phineas and Ferb one, he did the bottom part, the shirt area. Then he did all of this mouth, the nose, the eyes. He went all the way through his eyes, up around the head. He did the ear, had to go back around. You have to get every single point in that. So the more intricate you make it, the harder you're going to make it on yourself to get all those points. So be creative with it, but don't make it too hard so you can't get the points. Because most of your points from this graph are not coming from drawing this. It's coming from, can you put it in the table, and does it work out? Can you do the math behind it? So that's my first section. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the points from that before I make the S. So you can start anywhere. I'm going to start down here. And that point is 12, 0. So I'm going to put that on my table. I'm going to follow it around. So this point would be 24, 13. So I'm going to put that next. And you follow it completely around in order. So that was my second point. So then I'm going to come up here. And that's going to be 18, 19. So I'll put that on the table. And I'll go over. That one is 6, 19. I'll follow it down. That one's going to be 0, 13. And then always go back to your starting point so that it'll close the whole shape. So that starting point should be your first and your last point. So that's my first table. And then how you're going to do this, one second, my calculator's not where I put it. How you're going to do this in your calculator is you're going to go to Stat, you're going to edit your table, clear out all this, and I'm going to put this in my tables. So I've got 12, 24, 18, 6, 0, 12. L2, I got 0, 13, 19, 19, 13, 0. In order to see this on my graph, make sure there's nothing in there. I'm not going to see anything if I just hit graph because this is in stat. So I'm going to go to y equals, not y equals, I'm going to go to second y equals. That's going to be your stat plot. I'm going to go to this first stat plot and I'm going to turn it on. And then I want it to connect the dots. So I want to use the second graph right here. And I'm going to turn that graph on. I put all of that information into L1 and L2. So those are correct. And then when I graph it, I'm going to hit zoom. Not zoom. Oh, right. I'm on the other thing. Okay. So I got all of that plugged in. Then I'm going to hit zoom. And I'm going to zoom it to that stat plot. So I'm going to do zoom 9. And then you can see the outside of my Superman emblem. So now I need to work on the inside. So I'm going to draw the first part of the S. Let me see. I'm going to connect it here. I'll go over a little. Let's go up. Over like 4. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to be able to recognize what it is. So every different slope you have here needs a different point. So every time I change directions, I'm putting a different point on it. Yeah, I just need to draw that all the way down. I'm going to not use that point. So I messed up a little bit, so that's why we use a pencil. So just in case we mess up, we can take that off. And I'm going to put those points in my table. Now, I could have done the entire S all the way around. I'm choosing not to. That's just me. You are more than welcome to connect multiple sections. I'm just choosing not to. So I'm going to start up here at this first point, which is 18, 19. And then here I've got 18, 15. And then I've got 15, 15. Let's see. 13, 17. 8, 17. 6, 15. 6, 13. All that. 8, 11. And if you run out of space right here, it's okay. You can just make another part of your table. So see, that was 8, 11. So this one is 10, 10. Just follow it around. 16, 10. And remember I scratched that one out. So I'm going to go here. That is 19, 7. So that's going to be the next part of my S emblem. And I didn't end it where I started this time because I'm not closing in that S. I only did that on the first one because I wanted it to close in. So I don't have to do that on this one. So I'm going to go back to stat. I'm going to edit my table. I need to keep L1 and L2. That's the outside. So I'm going to go to L3. L3 and 4 are going to be my next XY value. I'm going to plug those in. 15, 13, 8, 6, 6, 8, 10, 16, 19. And then in L4, 19, 15, 15, 17, 17, 15, 13, 11, 10, 10, 7. So now those two match. I'm going to go back to second y equals. Now I'm going to go to plot 2 because this is my second shape. I'm going to turn it on. And I want my type of graph to be the line so it connects the dots. Now this one, I put those in L3 and L4. So for my X and Y, I need to change these. To get L3, I'm going to hit second, number 3. And for Y, I'm going to hit second, number 4. Now it's got my L3 and L4 column. Then I can go back to zoom 9. And I've got the first part of the S connected as well. Okay, now let's finish up the S. I'm going to start, drop part of my pen. It's okay. So I'm going to start it up here. Let's see. Go here. I'll go here. Right there on the line. I'm going to curve it back up. I want to connect. That's good enough. That looks like an S. And again, I'm not asking you to be an artist. I'm but you just need to make it look like what you're trying to make it. I'm trying to make a Superman symbol, so I want it to look like an S. I'm not an artist. This is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be as good as Phineas and Ferb. So then I'm just going to grab these points. So I've got 6, 19. Let's see. Got 3, 15. We got 2, 13. 2, 12. 3, 9. What's that? 7, 7. 11, 7. 15, 6. 15, 4. 13, 3. 11, 3. And it's going to end at 7, 5. Okay, so I've got my table for that one. So now I'm going to plug that into L5 and L6. So I'm going to go back to Stat. I'm going to edit. I'm going to scroll over to L5 and L6. So 6, 3, 2, 2, 3, 7, 11, 15, 15, 13, 11, 7. 19, 15, 13, 12, 9, 7, 7, 6, 4, 3, 3, 5. So I can go back to second, y equals. Now I've got a third section in, and that's the only plots I have. I only have 3 plots. So whatever you make, you're going to have to connect them so it only makes at most 3 plots. You don't have to have 3 plots. You can have less than that, but you cannot have more than 3 because your calculator doesn't do more than 3. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to make it the line. And my X and Y list are in L5 and L6. So I'm going to hit second, number 5, and second, number 6. And then when I graph it or hit zoom 9, now I can see my full Superman symbol. So you have to make it a table. You can put the table on your graph, or you can put it on another sheet of paper. Or you can put it on the back. And then you have to draw your shape and color your shape. If you want to outline it in color, that's fine. Or if you actually want to color it, if I wanted to color this to look exactly like the Superman symbol, I could have. But just follow the directions on the paper, on the rubric, and you don't have to be an artist to do this. You just have to follow the directions on the paper.